I was just standing there, zoning out like usual, waiting for my coffee order at this packed cafe in downtown Raleigh. Same morning routine. Same overpriced cold brew. Nothing special. Then I heard her voice. "Oh my God. Evan? Is that you?" I froze. I didn't even need to turn around to know it was Sarah. Her voice still had that fake sweetness to it, like she was always performing for someone. I slowly turned and there she was, standing in the middle of the coffee shop like it was a movie set. And next to her, some tall dude in a designer coat and shoes worth more than my car. "Wow, it's been forever," she said, walking up like we were old friends. "This is Michael, my fiancé." She really made sure everyone around heard that word. "Nice to meet you," Michael said, giving me a smug little nod. He didn't even offer a handshake. Just stood there, staring down like he was doing me a favor. Sarah looped her arm through his and smiled way too big. "Michael works in venture capital. Just got back from Aspen. He invests in green tech startups. Right, babe?" Michael gave a slow, practiced smile. "We just closed a 7-figure deal last week." "That's nice," I said, picking up my drink off the counter. No expression, no emotion, just calm. Sarah blinked, clearly thrown off. She wasn't expecting that. She tilted her head, her voice going syrupy and fake. "Still driving that old Civic?" I remember the passenger door didn't open from the outside. "Gosh, that thing's still alive." I didn't say anything, just took a sip of my drink. She kept going. "I mean, you always said you were figuring things out. I guess some things never change." Michael smirked. Sarah turned to him and laughed. "I used to tell him all the time ambition matters. You can't just float through life, right?" I kept my face blank. Just listened. "You know," she added, voice getting sharper, "I really settled back then. But now, Michael and I are house hunting in Buckhead. We might even get married next spring." I didn't flinch, just stepped aside to walk past them. But as I moved, I caught something in Michael's face. Confusion. He was still staring at me, like he didn't fully get what was happening. That's when it hit me. She hadn't told him the full story. Not even close. I pushed open the door and walked out into the street, the cold air slapping me in the face, feeling the sting of public humiliation burn under my skin. But I wasn't mad. Not yet. I didn't go straight home. I just drove. No music, no GPS. Just the hum of the road and my jaw clenched so tight it ached. Seeing Sarah again, her smug face, her perfect little show, the way she paraded that guy around like a trophy, it cracked something open in me. Not because I missed her. I didn't. I missed who I thought she was. The Sarah before the lies, the gaslighting, the cheating. She used to mess with my head so much I questioned my own memory. She'd swear she never said something, even when I knew she did. Blamed me for her moods. Accused me of being too sensitive every time I caught her texting some other guy. And when she cheated, she somehow spun it into being my fault. Said I was distant. Said I made her feel unloved. I stayed way longer than I should have, 2.5 years of walking on eggshells. When I finally broke it off, she didn't cry. She retaliated. Told her friends I was emotionally abusive. Lied to her family, said I stalked her. I got weird texts from random numbers for months. People whispering about me at work. She scorched the earth behind her, just so I couldn't stand on it. And now she's out here living like nothing ever happened? Like I'm the loser for getting away? That's when I remembered something. Something small, but sticky. After we broke up, she kept using my health insurance for a while. We had joint coverage for a bit, and she claimed she just needed it until her new job kicked in. I never checked, never cared. But now, I pulled into a gas station lot and grabbed my phone. Logged into my old insurance portal. My info had expired, but hers? She never updated the password. Classic Sarah. It didn't take long to find the claims. A few popped up right after we split: urgent care, labs, prescriptions. Nothing unusual until I looked closer. 2 separate test panels for STDs. One for herpes, one for HPV, another for gonorrhea. The treatment prescriptions were never filled. Jesus. I sat there with the phone in my hand, my stomach flipping. She was sleeping around while we were still together, and she knew she caught something. Probably didn't tell the guy she's with now either. At first, I didn't know what to do. Part of me wanted to delete the page and walk away. But another part of me, the part that remembered how she smeared my name, how she smiled while doing it, couldn't let her keep playing innocent. Michael had no idea who he was with. I grabbed an old receipt out of my glove box and started writing. Just a few lines. Short, direct, no threats, no emotion, just facts. Ask Sarah why she never told you about the STDs she tested positive for in February and March. She never filled the meds either. Check her bathroom drawer. I stared at it for a second. My hand was shaking. This wasn't about revenge, it was about truth. The kind she'd been running from for years. Later that night, I parked in the garage near her apartment building. I'd been there before, back when we were together. Knew exactly where her assigned spot was. Michael's car, some sleek black BMW, was parked right next to it. I waited until no one was around. Slipped the folded note under his windshield wiper. No fingerprints, no signature, just the truth sitting there in plain sight. As I walked away, I didn't feel proud. I didn't feel guilty either. I felt ready. Ready for the storm she thought would never come. The next morning started off normal. I made coffee, sat at my desk, logged into work, started sorting emails. Then my phone buzzed once, then twice. Then it didn't stop. First was a missed call from a blocked number, then 2 from Sarah, then 4 texts in a row. "You're sick. What the hell is wrong with you? I should have known you'd pull some psycho move. You're going to regret this." I didn't reply, just locked the screen and took a deep breath. Not even 5 minutes later, I got a ping from Instagram. Sarah posted something to her story. I tapped in. Black background, white text. When someone can't stand to see you happy, they'll go to any length to bring you down. I never thought I'd be stalked by someone I used to love. Prayers for healing. I rolled my eyes. Same tactics, different year. She kept going, posting screenshots of texts I sent her from last year and spinning it like they were recent. Trying to paint me as obsessed. As if I'd been lurking in her parking garage like some kind of creep. She didn't mention the note. Didn't mention the STDs. Just more smoke and mirrors. And people were biting. I checked the comments on her latest post. A few people chimed in with sympathy. "You deserve better, queen. Block him and stay safe." But others were asking questions. "Wasn't this like months ago? Didn't you say you broke up with him? You literally posted a week ago that you saw him at a coffee shop. How would he be stalking you if that was a coincidence?" She deleted that last comment in under a minute. Classic. Then my mom called. I hesitated for a second before picking up. "Hey," I said. "What's going on?" Her voice was tight. "I just saw something on Facebook. Is Sarah saying you're stalking her?" "Yeah. She's spinning some crap online. She's saying you're trying to ruin her relationship. That you left a threatening note?" "Evan, what the hell is going on?" "I didn't threaten anyone," I said. "I told the truth. That's it." There was a pause on her end. Then a sigh. "This is going to blow up, isn't it?" "It already is." I hung up before she could lecture me. I didn't need her concern. I needed to focus. About an hour later, the real show started. Someone tagged me in a Reddit thread, private group, but someone leaked screenshots. One of Sarah's old friends posted that Michael had found a note on his windshield. Said he came inside furious, note in hand, asking her point blank if it was true. She tried to play dumb. Said she didn't know what he was talking about. But apparently, he didn't drop it. He kept pressing. Said he deserved honesty. She finally cracked. What did him in was the medicine. According to the post, he went to grab his phone charger and found a prescription bag in her nightstand. Pills for 2 different infections. Dated months ago. Boom. She confessed. Or at least admitted some of it. That she might have caught something. That she didn't think it was a big deal. That she was scared he'd leave. He left anyway. Told her right then and there it was over. Packed up a bag and walked out. And she lost it. Screaming, crying, begging him not to go. Neighbors heard. One even filmed the tail end of it. Sarah in her driveway, barefoot, sobbing, screaming his name while he pulled away. By that night, the group chats were exploding. Mutual friends, acquaintances, even people I hadn't talked to in years were pinging me. She got exposed. Dude, you weren't lying. She's been talking crap about you forever, and now she looks like a clown. I didn't respond to anyone, just watched it unfold from a distance. Part of me felt satisfied. I won't lie. After everything she did, how she twisted my words, my name, my character, it felt good to see the mask fall. But there was something else too. A weird, hollow feeling. Because despite how toxic she was, despite all the chaos she caused, watching her unravel in real time was still sad. Not because I missed her, just because I could see it all so clearly now. How deep the lies went, how hard she clung to them. She built this perfect little image for herself, and now it was shattering loudly, publicly, and with no one left to defend it. I didn't gloat, didn't post, didn't even text anyone back. I just closed my laptop, turned my phone face down, and sat in silence for a minute. This wasn't over, but the cracks had finally started to show. The silence didn't last long. By the next morning, Sarah had gone full meltdown. She started flooding her social media with paragraphs, story slides, captions, status updates, all in the same shaky, chaotic tone. I never thought I'd have to publicly defend myself, but I've been harassed for months by someone I once trusted. He's spreading lies about my health, my relationships, even my body. All I wanted was to move on peacefully. I've been a victim of emotional abuse for years. She tagged the posts with dramatic hashtags like #survivor and #breakthesilence. I saw her face in a video, mascara smudged, sitting on the floor like she was auditioning for a Netflix docuseries. He couldn't handle me being happy, she sniffled, staring into the camera. So now he's trying to destroy me. But I won't be silenced. The likes rolled in. First, a few of her friends jumped into the comments with hearts and prayers. The usual suspects. But the tone shifted quick. Because people started talking. I wasn't the only one Sarah had burned. She had a trail. A messy, sloppy trail. One girl posted a long comment about how Sarah slept with her boyfriend, just for fun. Another said Sarah borrowed rent money and never paid it back. And a third straight up dropped the receipts. Screenshots of Sarah bragging about cheating on Michael before they were even official. That one hit hard. Sarah started blocking people left and right, deleting anything that didn't paint her as the poor, misunderstood victim. But the internet doesn't forget. People screenshotted everything, reposted it, sent it around. And then she made it worse. She started tagging me. This man is dangerous. He's mentally unstable and has a long history of controlling behavior. He showed up to my job before. He's tried to ruin every good thing in my life. All of it was fake. None of it happened. But she said it anyway, loudly, publicly. And then, she made the dumbest move yet. She called my job. My supervisor pulled me aside. Hey, Evan, look, I don't want to get in your business, but someone left a voicemail on the company line saying you've been harassing a woman online. I could feel my stomach drop. What exactly did they say? I asked, trying to stay calm. He rubbed his face. Something about stalking, emotional abuse. Said they were going to file a restraining order. Didn't leave a name, but they mentioned past relationship issues. You okay, man? I'm fine. It's complete bullshit. He nodded slowly, but I could see the doubt creeping in. That was her game. Plant the seed. Let it grow. I left work early that day. Later that night, I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. You were right. She lied to everyone. Michael. I didn't reply, but he kept sending messages. Turns out, after he walked out, Sarah tried to spin the story to him, too. Claimed I forged the medical note. Said it was a setup. Said I hacked her pharmacy account. He didn't buy it. Instead, he decided to play her game back. I watched from a burner account as Michael started texting her old friends. Some of the same ones she smeared me to. Told them everything. Sent photos of the prescriptions. Screenshots of texts she'd sent him when they first started dating, bragging about upgrading. And people believed him, because unlike Sarah, Michael had receipts. Cold, undeniable proof. Her loyal friend group cracked apart overnight. Her name turned toxic in group chats and brunch circles. She must have felt it happening because by the end of the week, she posted a 10-minute Instagram story that was so desperate it almost felt like performance art. She was crying again. This time she looked pissed. I don't know why this man is obsessed with ruining my life. Is it jealousy? Is it revenge? I was nothing but kind to him, and this is how he repays me. She went on like that, sniffling, yelling, whispering dramatically, until finally she said, "He couldn't stand to see me happy with Michael. That's what this is. Jealousy. He wants to see me alone." And honestly, she was right about one thing. I did want her alone, because it was the first time in years she was finally being seen for who she really was. And this time, nobody was buying the act. I was eating lunch at my desk when my phone rang again. Unknown number. I didn't recognize it, but I answered anyway, thinking maybe it was a work call. "Evan." The voice was sharp, tight with anger. "This is Patricia, Sarah's mother." Of course. I leaned back in my chair, bracing. "What you did to my daughter was disgusting," she snapped. "That note you left on Michael's car? Who does something like that?" "I told the truth," I said calmly. "Michael deserved to know what she hid from him. You're trying to destroy her life out of spite. That's harassment. You humiliated her. You've always had a temper, Evan. This isn't news to us." I almost laughed. Temper? I hadn't spoken to this woman in over a year. But just like Sarah, she jumped right to blame. "I didn't humiliate her," I said. "Her own lies did that." "She's hurting," Patricia went on. "You should be ashamed of yourself. If you had any decency, you'd apologize and take everything down." I didn't say anything, just stared at my monitor while she kept ranting. "You've always been bitter. You weren't good enough for her then, and now you're proving it. Posting things online like a petty child." "I haven't posted anything," I finally said. "All I did was stop covering for her." Click. She hung up. I dropped my phone on the desk and exhaled. Not even 5 minutes later, I got a text from a number I didn't have saved. "You think you're tough? Wait till I see you in person. You're dead, bro. I promise you that." Then another. "Keep talking and I'll end you. You think you can ruin her life and walk away clean?" Josh, Sarah's little brother. Barely 22 and already full of piss and ego. He used to act cool around me when we were dating. Now he was sending anonymous threats like he watched too many gangster movies. I screenshotted every message. Timestamps, numbers, everything. That night, 3 more came in. One voicemail, him breathing heavy, muttering my name. Another one just said, "Hope you like looking over your shoulder, bitch." I'd had enough. Next morning, I went to the precinct and filed a harassment report. Explained everything. The past relationship, the breakup, the retaliation, the threats. I gave them screenshots, voicemail logs, even Sarah's mom's call. The officer didn't say much, just took it all down and handed me a case number. Told me to block the number and call if anything escalated. When I got back home, I had a message request on Instagram from Sarah's dad. "Call me. Let's talk this through like adults." I ignored it. He messaged again 2 hours later. "This has gone far enough. If you take down the stuff online, we can end this peacefully. No more drama. No more dragging her name through the dirt." Then he added, "I'm willing to make it worth your while. Let's be smart here." Bribery. That was a new one. I messaged back, "I'm not the one dragging her name. She did that all on her own." He left me on read. Typical. That family never supported me, even when I was good to her. When she ignored me for days, I was told to be patient. When she cheated, they told me relationships are hard. When I finally walked, they acted like I was the bad guy. And now that the truth was out, they didn't want justice. They wanted damage control. They wanted me quiet. But I wasn't the one who needed to shut up. I didn't lie. I didn't cheat. I didn't fake tears for clicks or make threats in the dark. I gave someone a warning. That's it. They could threaten me, call me, try to pay me off. I didn't care anymore. I had backup now. And this time, I wasn't playing defense. A day after Sarah's dad tried to buy my silence, the group chats started buzzing again. This time, it wasn't about me. Michael had finally snapped. Apparently, Sarah had been blowing up his phone nonstop, texting him from every number she could get her hands on, her personal line, her work phone, Google Voice accounts, even a text from her mom's number that just said, "We need to talk. I miss you." When that didn't work, she sent him voice notes. Long, rambling ones, crying, whispering, begging. "Michael, please. You don't understand." Panicked. I thought I'd lose everything. He twisted it. You know how manipulative he is. "Please, just let me explain. I love you." None of it landed. Michael didn't answer. Not one word. Instead, he posted a note to his private Instagram story, and someone screenshotted it immediately. "To everyone asking, Sarah and I are over. I've seen enough. I don't hate her, but I'll never trust her again. Please respect my space." It hit like a bomb. His social circle was her social circle. The brunch crowd, the lake trip crew, the double date regulars, they all saw it. And within hours, things started unraveling fast. People stopped being subtle. Girls she used to party with started posting shady memes. One even tweeted, "Karma wears red lipstick and lies about test results." Another reposted Sarah's crying story with the caption, "Some of y'all should try honesty next time." Then the DMs started rolling in to me. Exes, friends, a couple guys I vaguely remembered from old group hangouts. One of them sent this, "Hey man, not trying to get in your business, but I dated Sarah back in 2019. She did the exact same thing. Lied, cheated, made up a bunch of stories about her ex being abusive. You're not the only one." Another guy wrote, "She told me you threatened her. Guess I was dumb for believing it." I didn't reply to most of them, just watched it unfold from the sidelines. The weirdest part? I didn't feel much. No pride, no rage, just stillness. Like I'd finally stepped out of the storm and could hear myself think again. Sarah, though, was spiraling. Her posts went from defensive to straight up unhinged. One minute she was quoting self-help books, talking about healing and growth. The next, she was posting black screens with vague threats like, "Some of you really showed your true colors. Keep that same energy." She started tagging people who unfollowed her, calling them fake, saying they were never real friends. One girl replied publicly, saying, "You lied to all of us. Own it." Sarah deleted it, then blocked her. She couldn't control the story anymore. That's what was killing her. Not the breakup, not the fallout, the loss of control. And Michael wasn't done. Turns out his family had money, and they didn't like being dragged into messes. His sister, who worked in PR, started quietly sending screenshots and proof of Sarah's manipulation to mutual contacts. No threats, no drama, just cold receipts. A few girls from Sarah's friend group messaged Michael directly, apologizing, said they didn't know the whole truth, said they felt lied to. By the end of the week, Sarah was a ghost in every group she used to run. People were leaving her chats, unfollowing, not responding. Even the ones who stood by her at first had gone quiet. And me? I didn't lift a finger, didn't post, didn't message anyone, didn't chase anything. I just sat back and watched the lies rot from the inside out. There was nothing left for me to do. No more defending myself. No more arguing with her version of reality. The truth had taken on a life of its own, and it was finally loud enough for people to hear it without me shouting. For once, I didn't have to fight. She was doing the damage all by herself. It didn't stop at the social fallout. The first real hit came when someone from Sarah's job leaked an email. She worked at a mid-sized marketing firm in Durham. Nothing huge, but she acted like she was the glue that held the place together. Turned out that glue was flammable. The email was from HR, one of those cold, generic ones with a subject line that read, "Internal review notification." It got forwarded to one of her ex-friends, who sent it straight into the group chats. Apparently, someone at her job saw the drama online and submitted a formal complaint. Then another. Then a third. Allegations of lying, bullying, and manipulating coworkers to get ahead. One guy said she spread rumors about him to management just to steal his project. Another girl said Sarah took credit for a client pitch she didn't even write. Within a week, she was out. Fired. Violation of workplace ethics, they said. Sarah tried to spin it as a layoff, posted a photo of her laptop in a box with the caption, "Sometimes doors close so better ones can open, broken heart." But everyone knew. And then Michael's family stepped in. They weren't quiet anymore. A lawyer from his dad's firm sent Sarah a cease and desist. The post said she intentionally misled and manipulated a member of the family for personal financial gain, which, in plain English, meant, "You tried to baby trap a rich guy and now we're gonna sue you." She freaked. Posted some vague story about legal intimidation and being silenced by powerful people. But nobody was buying it anymore. Her name had become radioactive. That's when her dad showed up again, this time in my DMs. "You've made your point. She's lost everything. It's enough now." I left it on scene. A day later, I got an email from a mutual friend. Said Sarah's parents were telling people I was the one behind the job loss and legal threats. That I had gone too far. That she was being targeted. But it was too late. Nobody was defending her anymore. Even her dad gave up eventually. I heard from someone that he tried to get a friend to talk to Michael's family on her behalf. They shut him down. After that, he stopped mentioning her at all. Sarah, though, she still wouldn't quit. She started a GoFundMe. I almost choked on my drink when I saw it. Big bold title. "Help me rebuild my life after harassment." She claimed she was wrongfully terminated, legally threatened, and emotionally destroyed by a toxic ex. Said she needed $15,000 to move out of the state and start over. Said she was living in fear and just wanted peace. The comments were brutal. One person donated $5 just to write, "This is what happens when you lie for a living." Another said, "Maybe don't hide prescription meds if you're gonna play innocent." She tried turning off comments, then re-enabled them, then deleted the page completely after someone dug up her recent IG post where she was wearing a brand new $400 bag. It was pathetic, and honestly, it was kind of sad to watch. She was circling the drain, grasping at every rope she'd once cut herself. No job, no boyfriend, no credibility. Her parents were barely speaking to her. Her friends had vanished. And me? I ignored every text, every call, every burner account she tried to DM me from. She even emailed once. Said she needed closure. I sent it straight to spam. Because I didn't owe her anything. Not a conversation. Not an explanation. Not forgiveness. What I gave her was the truth. And now it was eating everything she'd built. There was no fire left to put out. No image to protect. Just the wreckage of her own lies burning down around her while she tried to pretend someone else lit the match. I sat back and watched it from a distance. Detached. Calm. She wasn't my problem anymore. And this time, she didn't get to rewrite the ending. It happened on a Tuesday. I was halfway through a client call when I heard a knock at the glass office door. One of the receptionists stood there, wide-eyed. "Evan," she mouthed. "You've got someone here?" I waved her off and finished the call, thinking maybe it was a delivery or some random vendor. But when I stepped into the front lobby, I stopped cold. It was her, Sarah. Hair curled, full face of makeup, heels, tight beige dress. Looked like she was going to brunch with a politician. She smiled like we were old friends bumping into each other at the mall. "Hi," she said. "We need to talk." I didn't move. I could feel people behind the front desk staring. "You shouldn't be here," I said. She stepped closer, still smiling. "I'm not here to fight. I just want to talk. Please, just give me 5 minutes." I stayed quiet. Her eyes flicked past me to one of my coworkers walking by. She dropped her voice. "I need closure, Evan. Everything's falling apart. You don't understand what this has done to me." "I'm not responsible for what happened to you," I said. "You are." That wiped the smile off her face. Really? She snapped. So you're just going to pretend like you didn't set this whole thing up? Like you didn't try to destroy my life over a note? I shook my head. You're not the victim here. She laughed, short and bitter. You think you're some kind of hero? You think Michael didn't cheat on me first? You think I'm the only one who lied? You think I care? I said flat. You dragged my name through the mud for over a year. I didn't even fight back until you shoved it in my face. I lost everything. Her voice cracked. My job, my friends. Hell, my own family won't talk to me. You owe me a conversation, Evan. At least that. I don't owe you anything. That's when she snapped. You smug little piece of shit, she hissed. You think this is over? I'll sue you for defamation. I'll make sure you never work again. You ruined me. People were watching now. One of the HR girls peeked around the hallway. A guy from finance stood frozen by the copy machine. Sarah kept going. You lied about me. You sent that note because you're obsessed. Admit it. You always hated seeing me happy. I raised a hand. That's enough. She stepped closer, jabbing her finger at my chest. No, you listened to me for once. I didn't even have to call. Security was already on the way. The receptionist came back with two guys from the building staff. They moved fast like they'd done this before. Ma'am, we're gonna have to ask you to leave. I'm not done talking to him, she yelled. You are now, I said, stepping back. They flanked her on both sides. She turned and tried to grab my arm. I loved you, you piece of shit. I stood by you when you had nothing. Her voice echoed through the hallway as they pulled her toward the front doors. Co-workers stepped out of their offices, staring in stunned silence. I hope you rot alone, she screamed, heels clacking as she thrashed against the guards. The elevator doors opened. They shoved her in, and just like that, silence. I stood there breathing hard, my hands shaking, heart pounding in my chest. Not from fear, from adrenaline. My boss walked up behind me. You all right? I nodded. Yeah, she's just from my past. He gave me a look but didn't press. Well, let us know if she comes back. I went back to my desk, sat down, and stared at my screen for a full 5 minutes before I could type anything. That was it. The final stunt. The last desperate grasp. She had nothing left now. No lies to spin. No one left to fool. She'd burned every bridge, and this was her last match. And somehow, watching her get dragged out in front of people I worked with every day didn't make me feel embarrassed. It made me feel free. After they dragged Sarah out of the building, everything just settled. No more calls. No more DMs. No more threats from her brother. No emails from her dad. No fake sob stories posted to her feed every night. It all went quiet. She still posted, don't get me wrong. All that healing energy garbage, mixed with half-baked quotes about self-worth and rising from the ashes. She started tagging herself at yoga studios and coffee shops like nothing ever happened. But no one was paying attention. The likes dropped off. Comments stopped coming in. The people who used to boost her ego had all seen the truth, and the ones who hadn't didn't care. She was shouting into the void now. And me? I was done looking. I sat on my couch one night, scrolled through my socials, and realized I didn't need any of it anymore. Every app felt like a leftover piece of that chaos. So I deactivated the whole thing, Facebook, Instagram, all of it. Gone. No farewell post. No mental health break announcement. Just delete. Then I texted a couple friends. Told them I was grabbing beers that weekend. Nothing fancy, just a bar, a few laughs, real people. I didn't need revenge anymore. I didn't even need the satisfaction. I just needed my life back. And for the first time in a long time, I had it. No more waiting for the next mess. No more looking over my shoulder. Just me, a few good people, and the peace that comes with knowing you handled your shit without becoming like the person who hurt you. It wasn't about winning. It was about finally being free. So if you take anything from this story, let it be this: trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't wait for proof. Don't let someone tell you that your instincts are wrong. Because some people don't want love. They want control. And the moment you stop giving it to them, That's when they fall apart. And you finally get to stand up.